All right, come on in, take your seats. Let's get started. Class is in session for Brittany Dawn History Lesson, Episode 1. This is Brittany Dawn. This is her in 2022, basically what she looks like now, except she has darker brown hair. This is Brittany in 2019, and you can see the captions on this comparison. 2022, she is deeply rooted in Christ. 2019, she is dabbling in the world. So, what does she mean by that? Well, Brittany tells the tale now that prior to finding Christ, she had it all from the outside. Everything was amazing. She had the home, the town car, the money, the vacations, all of the things. And she looked amazing to the outside world. But on the inside, she was struggling, and she was, at this time, when this photo was taken, according to her, in the midst of battling her third ED. And she doesn't say that she relapsed into an ED. She says this is her third one that she was experiencing at this time, which obviously is horrifying and sad, but relevant to this story. So Brittany Dawn is now known for, I think a lot of people who are unfamiliar with her from the past know her now for being a Christian content creator, for being a conservative, for her trying to conceive content. Maybe they started following her when she was fostering that one time for a little bit. So I think a lot of people kind of found her in that era of her life and are unfamiliar with the past. So before Brittany Dawn was who she is now on the internet, in the 2010s, she ran Brittany Dawn Fitness. And this business sold personalized fitness plans, quote unquote, to clients. They ranged from like $90 to $300, and the promise was this is going to be personalized to you. Whatever your goal is, I'm going to give you your macros, I'm going to give you your workout plan, and it is all going to be for you specifically, your goals, your wants, the thing that you want to happen. I'm going to help you get there. Also, if you're having any problems, you can reach out to me. You have direct access to Brittany Dawn with any questions, concerns, encouragement, needs that you may have. I'm here. The issue is the plans were not personalized. They were templates. People with wildly different either starting points or end goals were getting the same plans, and people who reached out for help were getting ignored. Brittany promised personalized fitness plans to her customers and did not deliver. And when people reached out for help, they were ignored. They either did not get a response, or they would get a general response of like, you're crushing it, even if they were reaching out saying, hey, I'm struggling with this and I need help. So people complain, they talk about it online, they're like, this is what's happening, like, is anybody else experiencing this? I got my fitness plan and it had somebody else's name on it, like, this isn't even for me, and now I can't get the right one. So a lot of people were having issues. This kind of came to a head when a YouTuber named Cassidy Campbell, who I guess makes prank videos, I don't know if he still makes YouTube videos, but anyway, he dressed up as the dad of somebody who Brittany Dawn scammed, you know, this fictional character, and confronted her at a convention. And basically like called her out, said, you scammed my daughter with one of your fitness plans. And Brittany looked at him and smiled and backed away and did not say anything in the moment. Did not like seem surprised that this was happening. She was surprised that somebody came up to her, but the accusation wasn't like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean I scammed? Like, she just smiled, backed away, and let somebody else handle it, and like looked at him basically smirking. And so this got a lot of attention because in that video, Cassidy did say, like, this is what's happening, people are complaining, Brittany Dawn is not addressing it, so let's raise some awareness. This led to a lot of attention on Brittany, which, I mean, it should have, because she was selling a product and then not delivering. And she put out an apology video at one point. It's deleted now. I could not even tell you like what was actually in that video, but I can tell you that her dryer was running in it. I vividly remember that. And it was not the greatest video. She put out some sort of video addressing things and then took it down. So it's not up anymore. And throughout this time, like, Brittany talks about this now and says like she was going through the darkest time in her life, and this is when she had a radical encounter with Christ, and she talks about this low point without saying, hey, I got called out for like scamming people, which in my opinion she did. She sold you something and then did not deliver. But so anyway, it's getting a ton of attention. She's facing a lot of backlash. A lot of people are talking about it. She takes a beat, comes back, Christian era. I am in my Christian girl summer. Like, this is what we are doing. We're focusing on modesty. She was married to somebody else prior to this. So she ended up getting divorced. She met her now husband, Jordan. It's like our courtship era. Here's what we do to like make sure we have a Christian marriage. They focus a lot on like Christianity, modesty, boundaries, getting marriage advice, all this stuff. They talk about trying to have a baby, and you know, so on and so forth. They do the foster care thing, which is a whole other installment that we absolutely can get into if you want. But yeah, and so like she has this fitness controversy, takes a beat when people are calling her out, comes back and does not address it. Does not say like, here's what I did wrong, here's how I'm gonna make it right, here's everything that I want to do to regain your trust. It's, we're brushing this under the rug because I was sick and I was unhealthy, and like it has nothing to do with fitness or like talking about her business. It's just saying like, I'm a Christian now and I want to talk about this because I used to be so lost, and I had a radical encounter with Jesus Christ one night. So Brittany goes on for a couple of years, still not addressing it, still not making anything right. And then the state of Texas files a lawsuit against her. So this lawsuit was for deceptive business practices, and they settled. Essentially, the result of this lawsuit is that Brittany Dawn has to pay around $500,000 in fees, fines, restitution, attorney's fees, stuff like that, and she can no longer sell fitness products. So Brittany was found to have done something wrong, and just one of the most wild things to me is she did eventually, because of the lawsuit and the publicity it was getting, talk about it, but it was still, the language surrounding it was very much, I made a mistake. Like, it was just a tiny mistake. I was in over my head. I was totally unprepared. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. I just got overwhelmed and I didn't know what to do or how to fix it. And yet you kept selling plans though. Like, if you were overwhelmed and you couldn't take on the workload that you already had, why didn't you try and put a stop to like the bleeding, right? Like, you should address and care for your current customers instead of continuing to sell to new people and taking their money when you know you can't give them what you're promising them. And also, people who asked for refunds, at the time they would either get ignored, they would get offered a partial refund, or Brittany would say, yeah, I'll give you a refund, here's an NDA. So, largely, in my opinion, unrepentant for what she did, the money she took from people, and the way that she conducted her business, which like led to a lot of deeply personal issues, because part of Brittany's branding for her fitness business was that she was an ED warrior. She had overcome her ED, and so she was targeting people with with body and food issues, because she's saying, I was there, I can help you. And instead of like taking care of and cherishing the trust that her customers put in her to help them, she just took their money and didn't care about their lives. So that's like the briefest way I can describe the situation, which isn't brief at all, because if you know me or if you watch my YouTube videos, you know I'm very long-winded, but I tried here, okay? So episode 1, Brittany Dawn history, lessons, the Brittany Dawn fitness scam. Let me know if you have any questions or if we want to keep doing this series, because there are plenty of more controversies that we can dive into.